Hello, and we're back again. Okay, so what's been happening is I've given the sun oven time to come up to 350 degrees. And as I said in my last video, we're gonna be baking bacon in the solar oven. This roasting pot, typical roasting pot, as you probably noticed, I've got my bacon set up in here, and what I've done is I've taken aluminum foil and I tried to fold it, back and forth like an accordion. I'm sure there's special racks, special pots, all kinds of things. If you've got something better, please use it. This is what I've got, and necessity is the mother of innovation and all that kind of thing. So I've got bacon, I've got it elevated off the bottom. I'm using aluminum foil and not a rack. I just find that this works better for me. It's me, So there's no water in there, there's just the bacon. Okay, so gonna close that up, and then we're gonna walk out, and I have to get something first, so bear with me. Sorry, things are a little rocky, but I'm not remaking this video, so I'm just gonna have to go with the flow here. Okay, now I'm gonna put on my Aldi special oven glove, and you've probably seen them in Walmart and such for $13. Once in a while, I got this, and my wife got two others from Aldi. They went on sale a couple of years ago for $5 a piece. And if you ever see them and you don't have one, and there's on sale $5 or $6, get one. I love this thing. It's almost like wearing Kevlar. I used to be in a volunteer fire department, and you have fire protective gloves. This will not protect you in fire, but I can get in with using the dexterity of my fingers, and I can handle hot pots and stuff. It's great for the solar oven. So now what we're going to do, we're going to walk out to the solar oven with our bacon coming out here, and while I was waiting for the oven to warm up, I'm gonna cover up the lens here so that you can see. We are at 375 degrees. That's better than 300 and 350, right? 375 degrees, and yes, I have it latched shut. I did clean the glass, which I should have done when the oven was stone cold, and oh well. So I cleaned it, and I did re-aim it just a little bit, so it's tilted up in the back. It's tilted up about as far as I can go. And if you notice the shadow, from looking at my other videos, the shadow is almost dead on. The shadow on this side is just a wee pinch more than the shadow on this side. So that tells us that from when I made my first video, where the shadow was longer on this side, that the sun has traveled in its arc. And now it's a little more this way. And so the shadow is getting longer. So that means I could take my oven and I could position it this way to get that longer, because I know the sun travels east to west. The sun will continue to travel that direction. So if I adjust the solar oven so that the shadow on this side of the oven is longer than the shadow on this side, alright, then let me see if I get it all straight. Well, actually, let me think. Okay. So yes, that's right. If I turn the oven so it's more towards the sun, the shadow on this side will be a little longer. But as we're coming up, we're at midday. I won't put it up there. We're at midday. The shadow is just going to grow longer towards the back because the sun will eventually start going down. So as the angle of the sun goes that way, the shadow will draw longer backward. Alright, anyway, so let's put the bacon in the solar oven. Now, I've taken out the shelf. It has a swivel shelf that sits on these two bolts, and I've taken that out because history and mistakes have shown me that I don't need that shelf. That gives me a heartache every time, just because the pot's so big. Okay, so give you a little bit of shade there so we can see a little better. Okay, so now I've got the black pot, thin wall, black pot. If you see any camping pots just like this, the thin black metal, white speckle, thin metal works the best in a solar oven. Yes, people have used cast iron. You can use cast iron. It takes longer to heat up. It could take up to an hour to heat up a cast iron. So from the time you set out and position your sun oven, you should put the cast iron in it and just let it warm up with the oven. But once cast iron is hot, then you have something inside your oven that even when there's a passing cloud or two, that cast iron, it acts as a radiator, and it will give off heat instead of intake heat. And it will help actually moderate and keep your internal cooking temperature more steadier. So just a thought there. But for quick things like cooking bacon, I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to use that thin wall. And I've even picked up things at yard sales. I've found camping stuff at a yard sale. So now I open that door and you can see that the temperature went down. We were at 375 and now we're at 350. Just that brief minute, you letting that air out, so that hot air. But that's all right, because with a beautiful day like today, it is going to come back lickety split, probably 10-15 minutes. It's going to be right back up there. Now, how long do I need to leave the bacon in there? And while I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to unlatch, because I don't need that much heat. I don't need that much heat. 325, if you're using a conventional oven, 325 for maybe 35-40 minutes. Depends on how cooked you want it. I go for a little towards the crispy. And what I find is it cooks in there, drips the grease. I take it out, dry it on paper towel, put it in a some kind of a resealable container, put it in the fridge, and the wife and I like bacon, on sandwiches with eggs, and it's already cooked. I don't have to go through the splatter and the mess every time. It's cooked, it's done. Take it out, throw it in the pan before I cook my eggs, just to give it a minute or so warm up. And then it also coats the bottom of the pan with a little bit of bacon grease, and that's always good. And then, take it out, put the eggs in there, go to town. So, this is what we've done. This is what we've been working on. And, so, now, I'm probably going to wait about 35 minutes. I think that would be plenty. Maybe even 30 minutes. I'm going to set my timer, and then I'm going to come out and check. And if things look good, then I'm pulling it out, because there's going to be plenty of heat. Right now what's happening is once you put that container in that solar oven, the container has to get up to temperature. The food that's inside the container has to come up to temperature. So that's where 15-20 minutes gets eaten up. Being as it's such a nice bright sunny day, maybe between 15 and 20 minutes. Some condensation will start to form on the inside of the door. I'll be ready with paper towel when I open the door. That was a bee. I had to duck. Sorry. And then that'll be ready to come out. And I don't know if you can tell, but already I can see some condensation. A little bit starting to form. Just a little bit. That's okay. Just a little bit. We can all live with that. Okay. So that's where we're at for now. So any other thoughts that I might want to add into this video? Nope, nothing for now. So I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, take care.